All right, Mondy. News reviews, updates, tidbits, factoids. A lot of things to discuss. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment down below. And make sure you subscribe to the Current Era Podcast. Thank you very much. Let's do it, Monty. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. First, a lot of D23 news dropped in the span of last time that we spoke. We can go over some trailers first. Your favorite segment. First, we have the trailer for the new Star Wars show, Skeleton Crew, which is coming to Disney Plus on December 3rd. Give me your thoughts on this trailer.
This trailer didn't do it for me, man. I do not give a fuck about these little kids having their Star Wars adventure. Obviously, well, not obviously, but apparently this is every fan's dream. I've seen nothing but like the diehards, like, it's about time we got a kids adventure in the Star Wars universe. I'm not one of those people. Exactly. Right. That's literally how I reacted. I was like, really? Like, I don't give a fuck. This trailer didn't do anything for me. I'm not going to watch this.
Well, as a big Star Wars fan, I never clamored for that, but it seemed like they were going for like the Stranger Things kind of vibe, but in space, in a galaxy far, far away. And honestly, if I just saw this trailer in a vacuum, I'd be excited for it. But based on everything I've seen from the Disney era Star Wars in the past 2 years, the Acolyte, I'm talking to you, Obi-Wan talking to you, Ahsoka talking to you,
Mando season 3
talking to you. No, I'm not going to put my faith into this. I'm going to assume it's going to be the worst thing ever. So, I mean, that puts me in a good spot to be proven wrong.
Yeah. I mean, look, if they can't do those things right, why should we trust them with this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. Next trailer, let's move on to some movie trailers now. We have the trailer for Hellboy, The Crooked Man. Is coming this fall. It took everything in me not to think this wasn't a fan film, but it's real. What are your thoughts on this new Hellboy movie? New actor, new director. Third Hellboy in 10 years, 15 years?
Yeah, they are like, they're milking this fucking Hellboy IP. Holy shit. I didn't realize Hellboy was so popular. Like, I'm just like, wait, like we're doing this again? Like this is actually like another iteration of Hellboy. I'll say this about this trailer. It looked scary, like it looked horror, like clearly that's the vibe they're going for. Mm-hmm. And I would give the trailer that. Like, I was like, whoa, okay, like this looks kind of creepy. Like, I get it. I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not gonna support this at all because, like you, there were just too many things in there. I was just like, wait, what? Like, this doesn't look great, but whatever. But look, man, apparently there is a segment of people out there that enjoy these fucking Hellboy films that come out once every 5 years. To think that this franchise has been rebooted more than Spider-Man is crazy. But
has it?
This is the fourth Hellboy we've gotten, right?
It's the fourth Hellboy movie, but it's the third iteration of it.
Okay, so it's to think that it's been rebooted as many times as Spider-Man. that's insane. Yeah. That's insane. Yeah. But what do you think?
Yeah. So I'm a big Hellboy fan. The Ron Perlman Hellboy movies 1 and 2, I think, are literally just as good as any of the best MCU movies, any of the best superhero movies. Those are great films. The David Harbour version, not as good, but still a very fun time, as you like to say, entertaining time at the theater. Like I said, this looks like a fan film. It looks like a very low budget, but they're leaning into what Hellboy in the comics is kind of more so known for, which is those horror elements, stuff like that, which actually does seem pretty cool. As a Hellboy fan, I am interested enough to see this movie. I'm not going to lie. Don't have the highest hopes. Every Hellboy that we have had so far, I really enjoy them. Like Ron Perlman is my Hellboy, but David Harbour brought something new to that role as well. This Hellboy, I didn't see anything special in the trailer, but I would love to be proven wrong. So just the Hellboy mythos and lore alone will get me in the theater, and maybe they can go, that a different route, because it doesn't seem like an action pack like how the other ones are. Well, it's more of like a horror movie, which is kind of cool. So I'll be there, but with skeptical, squinty eyes the whole time. So yeah.
The nigga Monty just gonna be waiting for something like, I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. So whatever. We had the first trailer for Subservience, starring Megan Fox. It follows a struggling father who purchases an android. The android is played by Megan Fox, to help care for his house and family, unaware she will gain awareness and turn deadly. How many of these movies do we get a year? But what are your thoughts on this trailer?
I feel like AI wrote this. I don't know. This doesn't help their cause by writing this, but I mean, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. How many times are we gonna do this, bro? Like, and again, guys, I'm gonna say this every time. I love me a good man versus machine. Like, I think that it makes for epics. But when you do it like this on such a small scale, low key, it kind of like derails the man versus machine like mythos that I love. It's like, bro, like I don't care about how fine Megan Fox is coming to take over this family. Like I don't care. I'll be there opening night, but this movie's gonna be ass, and I'm going to see Megan Fox naked. So yeah.
Yeah, you took the words out right in my mouth. Megan Fox is the selling point. They know that. Okay. I will be there opening motherfucking night, bitch.
Okay.
But wow. I guess she's literally the only thing separating this movie from the John Cho movie that we just talked about last review pod, which is the same kind of premise, AI turning evil. But it's literally, but that movie doesn't have Megan Fox, and so call me shallow, whatever. I'll be there, but I have low expectations. But damn, she was looking good in that trailer. We have the trailer for a new movie, Rebel Ridge, has been released. It's coming September 6th on Netflix, starring Midsize Sedan from old, the actor that played the character Midsize Sedan. Yes, guys, that's his name in the movie. Don't ask why. M. Night Shyamalan. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this movie, Rebel Ridge, coming to Netflix?
Rebel Ridge, huh? You mean Walking Tall Part 2, starring Dwayne Johnson's son? Like, what the fuck was this? Like this is just Walking Tall. Like, okay, we've got the kind of good looking, ambiguous looking black guy. We've got the guy in. We've got the guy. Let me finish. I
wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that to it. Okay, I got the fine, sexy head nigga black nigga.
Let me finish. You know what?
Yeah. Hazel eyes.
Strike that from the tape. Holy shit. We got obviously, you know, the nigga's trained. Like he's got a background. He used to be a killer, and he's coming back to save his town from the corrupt police. This is Walking Tall Part 2. I'm not gonna watch this. This coming out like Hulu or some shit? Like, yeah,
I see Netflix, why. Sir.
Yeah,
Netflix.
I see why. Whatever.
We got different reactions. The sexy nigga sold me.
Okay.
Maybe it's the fact that it's a black man in this role because The Rock is in black, as opposed to somebody else, and so this is why I'm maybe more inclined. But it has. I miss these kind of movies. Like, yes, I always talk about like revenge flicks, but this has a little bit something different on it. I thought it was a really cool line in the trailer when the police guy is kind of just trying to hunting him down and said like, he's like, I was thinking, you know, we can just end all this violence. And he go, you know, that's what I was thinking. But then I was like, nah, like that was a cool little scene or cool little quote. I'll be here for this, man. I like I said, kind of like with Hellboy or even Subservience, not the highest expectations, but I think this has the potential to be something that could be like, you know, that was actually pretty good. So I'll check it out. I'll let you know how it is. Okay. We finally have the trailer for The Crow coming this month, actually, August 23rd. This is the remake of the movie with Bruce Lee's son, who tragically passed away on set, starring Bill Skarsgård, FKA Twigs. What are your thoughts on this trailer? Will you be watching it?
I mean, we had The Crow trailer that we've talked about already, but whatever you tagged me in before was, like, you're talking about, like, the car scene, right? Where they were killing him in the car or whatever?
No, that was a teaser before. This is the actual full-length trailer.
Yeah, we talked about this.
We did? Oh, I don't remember watching. Okay.
I don't care about this movie. I didn't care about the original. Bill Skarsgård cannot drag me in this theater to watch this. As much as I love action, this is my cup of tea, and I'm totally fine with missing out on it. Just like I was fine with missing out on the original. So I'm good.
Yeah, I actually never saw the original The Crow. So this will be my first exposure to this story. So maybe that can bring something interesting. I'll watch it, though. I do like Bill Skarsgård a lot. You know, I did walk out of his movie earlier this year, Boy Kills World. Not because of him. Just I thought it just wasn't for me. But I'll be here to support this. And I'll let you know how it is, I guess. Last trailer we have, came from D23, from the live-action Snow White film starring Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot as Maleficent. No, that's from Sleeping Beauty. Gal Gadot as the evil witch. I forgot her name. Anyway, Rachel Zegler has a wonderful voice. We saw it in West Side Story. We saw it in last year's Hunger Games, and so she's back as Snow White. They keep casting her in these roles to sing for a reason. But did this trailer do enough to kind of get you to want to go see it in theaters?
So here's the thing, man, about these Disney remake films. What's typically been the case, excuse me, is if I've seen the movie before, like in animated form, then I typically don't enjoy the remake.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I haven't seen it, then usually I have like a much better experience, obviously, because I don't have any preconceived notions. I don't have a this is how it should be. So I've never seen the original Snow White from front to back, literally never. And I'm actually excited to see this, not because like it looked good or because Gal Gadot, oh my God, I can't wait for this just masterful performance she's about to give. Just for the pure fact that I've never seen the original film. So like I can't hate it. I literally can't. I mean,
you literally can't. You can't.
Once I see the movie, I can, but like I won't go in with those preconceived notions. So I'm excited for this. Hopefully it's good. I guess I'll see. And yeah, shout out to Gal Gadot being the evil witch, whatever the fuck she is in this movie. So let's do it.
Yeah, I totally understand your point about not seeing a movie and having fresh eyes on it. But I'll watch this movie. Fun fact: Snow White was the first live-action Disney featured animated film ever. She was the first Disney princess. And so I really, actually, as I always bring up the Huntsman somehow, like how you bring up Last Voyage of Demeter, I enjoyed that interpretation of Snow White as well, like a much more darker version. But this is a good kind of change of pace. We're going back to the Disney-esque version of it. So I'm excited to see Rachel Zegler. I'm excited to see Gal Gadot. Hopefully it's worthwhile. Let's talk some video game news. Ex-Rockstar developer says that GTA 6 won't be wildly different from GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto, and may leave players, quote unquote, disappointed. He said, I don't think it's going to be wildly different from GTA 5. I think people might be a little disappointed on the first day, but it's still going to be the best game out there. As a big GTA fan, how do you take this news? Or did you expect this?
Excuse me. No, I don't expect that. What the fuck? No, this better be the greatest fucking game I've ever played ever. I've had to wait for 10 plus years for this, so no, this game cannot underwhelm me. It literally cannot. But when has Rockstar ever made mid? Like, they've literally never done.
I didn't take that as him saying it was mid. I just took him as saying like it's more of the same. Like if you like GTA 5, you'll like this. Oh okay.
No. That's not how I'm interpreting that quote. Okay. I'm interpreting it as him saying, "Look, GTA 5 was the best we could do, and if you think that we can succeed that, then you're wrong." Okay, then bitch, you're wrong, bitch. You better get back in the fucking lab and make it fucking work. So, yeah, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
All right, unacceptable. Mm-hmm. We have the gameplay trailer for Harry Potter Quidditch Champions coming September 3rd on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. I know you were a big fan of Hogwarts Legacy. I just have a quick question if somebody doesn't play games. Why not just include this game or Quidditch inside of Hogwarts Legacy? Did it not have enough RAM or whatever? Like, that seems weird to have two separate entities when they're so closely connected. But what are your thoughts on that?
So I think that this is a question that they've answered. If I remember correctly, the reason was just that it would have just made the game, like it would have basically delayed the game from coming out when they wanted it to come out. It would have took them way too long to get the mechanics right or whatever the case may be. So, okay, shit. I mean, I didn't miss it in Hogwarts Legacy, so I'm glad that I got the actual game and I didn't have to wait for fucking Quidditch. And that kind of leads to my thoughts on this. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I do not care about being able to play Quidditch. Like, I was never one of those kids that was like, man, I want a Nimbus 2000 so I can,
Nimbus 2000.
that shit did not look fucking fun to me. I'm sorry. Okay. So, I don't care. I mean, the graphics looked okay, I guess. Gameplay looked okay, I guess. But I'm not here for this Quidditch bullshit. I don't care.
All right. Victor Crumb's rating is a 99 overall. The Nintendo Switch is only 1.1 million total unit sales away from passing PlayStation 2 for the most lifetime sales for a video game console. Is that surprising to you?
Not really, especially since it's been out for 11 years? No.
It's been that long?
8 or 9 years? It's been a long time.
Okay.
It's been a long fucking time on Nintendo Switch. I think it was 2015. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long fucking time, man. I mean, the PS2 is only out for I think 8. So the fact that it's still number one after all these years is kind of crazy. But yeah, the Switch will probably get it.
I remember when I feel like everybody had a PS2. Like I had a PS2. Like
Everybody.
PS2 is just that console that just like everybody just had for some reason, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because of the DVD player, probably.
Yeah, probably a big component. That's why. Let's talk some superhero, Marvel, DC stuff, whatever. Here's a fun fact on the biggest superhero movie opening weekends in terms of MCU. I'll count down. At number 6 was Deadpool and Wolverine, actually, with 438 million. At number 5, Multiverse of Madness at 450 million. At number 4, Captain Marvel, 456 million. At number 3, No Way Home, 600 million, big jump. At number 2, Infinity War, 640 million. And at number 1, Endgame, the biggest jump, $1.2 billion opening weekend. Jesus Christ. Any surprises there or any thoughts on that?
Captain Marvel is kind of surprising. I'm not going to lie, but it's weird. Like, obviously the movie made $1 billion. I don't know how, but it did. But I don't remember people being like overly excited about it when it was coming out. Even
keep in mind though, it's placed when it came out in between Infinity War and Endgame. People had that excitement, like, oh, this is gonna be a new character. It's gonna be an Endgame. She's super powerful. Let's see what this is about. And first woman led a Marvel movie as well.
$1 billion though? Yeah, I don't know, man. But I mean, look, whatever. I mean, facts are the facts. I'm just saying, like, that is the one that surprised me the most to be like, okay, Captain Marvel won. Especially when Captain Marvel 2 came out, like nobody cared. Nobody cared. But whatever.
Yeah, but $1.2 billion opening weekend, like that's not even fair.
I mean, culmination of everything, man. It meant a lot.
That's very true. Joaquin Phoenix says that Lady Gaga spit up her coffee after hearing him sing for the first time in Joker 2. His quote was, "That felt good. That was exciting. It made me feel confident." So I'm thinking, reading this quote, if this nigga don't sound like goddamn prime Luther Vandross, then that quote means nothing to me. Like, lady, come on now. That's very dramatic. Spitting out your coffee.
I'm sure she didn't actually do that. These actors, all right. Like these actors love just embellishing. Yeah, I'm expecting him to sound decent, and that's it. I'm sure he's gonna sound fine, and I'm sure they're gonna auto-tune the fuck out of him or whatever they got to do to make it sound fine. But that's
auto-tune Joker.
Yes,
she made us drink, got drunk in.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige confirms White Vision series is in the works. The series will come out in 2026. Wild title, if that is the title, but of course, White Vision from WandaVision, Vision's new form, I guess. I don't know.
This isn't even my final form.
So, White Vision. Are you excited for a Vision series?
No. What? Like what? No, I'm not. No. Yeah. Especially, how long has it been since WandaVision came out? Like 6 years? Like,
yeah, that was the first.
It's been a while.
MCU show.
Yeah, like it's been a while. So, no. But I'm gonna watch it as soon as it comes out. But no, I mean.
Channing Tatum says he's talked to Marvel about reviving his canceled Gambit film.
Oh, God.
The quote was, he wants to write it into existence, please. It's in Bob Iger's and Kevin Feige's hands.
Let it go.
We've been waiting a long time for this here.
Let it go.
I'm about to make a name for myself today here. Currently going viral on TikTok, guys, by the way, Mondoos. But yeah, what are your thoughts on a solo Gambit movie?
I don't want this. I mean, look, if it ever does happen, I'd be there opening night. But like, am I checking for this? Am I excited for this? Do I actively care if this happens? No. All
right. Yeah. I probably would have said no, but even though I didn't enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine, I did think Channing Tatum's Gambit was a highlight for me. And if he can get past the shtick of just, oh, I'm funny doing a Cajun accent, and actually tell a story worthwhile, I think it'd be interesting. Even though, honestly, in my new MCU, I don't want an old-ass Gambit like Channing Tatum. No disrespect. I would like a younger Gambit so we can kind of age with him as the MCU goes on, you know? I'm ageist, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. said that he read lines with Ryan Reynolds for a scene in Deadpool and Wolverine. The writer confirmed the scene featured Tony Stark, Wade Wilson, and Happy Hogan, but was never filmed. They said that knowing that Dr. Doom was coming on the heels of that, it just didn't make sense. So Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. actually considered returning as Tony Stark for Deadpool and Wolverine, which is huge news, I guess, huge implications. But I'm glad it didn't happen. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I could have totally see where he would have fit in that scene in Deadpool and Wolverine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't have saved the movie. So ultimately, it wouldn't have mattered.
And then to bring back an iconic character like Iron Man, Tony Stark's Iron Man, in that scene of all, like a playful scene, like it needs to be like magnificent. If he does, I still don't want him to come back ever, but if he does, which you're highly convinced he will, as Tony Stark, I wouldn't want him to come in no gimmick scene like that. That would just really undercut the Endgame death for real, in my opinion.
But it's a variant.
I don't give a fuck. Robert Downey Jr. would reportedly only return to the MCU. Speaking of Robert Downey Jr., if the Russo brothers were directing, they are the only directors that he would work with. That's what he said. So the Russo brothers will reportedly be paid $80 million to direct Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. And Robert Downey Jr. will apparently be paid significantly more than $80 million for both of those films. Robert Downey has earned $500 million to $600 million alone in the MCU so far, from MCU films alone. And his new deal includes private jet, dedicated security, and a whole other trailer encampment from the rest of the cast. So is this excessive? I mean, of course he deserves it. He started MCU, but is this kind of extreme to you?
Not at all. First of all, we don't know if half of that's true. But let's say, for argument's sake, that all of what you just said is 1,000% verifiable and accurate. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck. Well deserved. These movies make billions of dollars. He can have a piece of the pie. He's more than earned it. So I don't care.
Yeah, I tend to agree for the most part.
It's not like this is fucking Jeremy Renner.
Don't do that, bitch. Don't do that. Hawkeye is one of the original 6, and he needs his motherfucking respect, okay?
Does he?
Yes, he does. Anyway, interesting news on what the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty could have been, which I thought was just as really crazy to me. What was Avengers Kang Dynasty supposed to be about, apparently? And in this film, the TVA began gathering anchor beings from across the multiverse, believing that they are the only ones powerful enough to defeat the Council of Kangs. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were the anchors of their respective realities, while Tom Holland's Spider-Man served as the anchor for Earth 616, the current MCU timeline. The movie was intended to be smaller in scope compared to Secret Wars, focusing more on Holland's Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and other anchors like Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. The plan was for all of them to ultimately fail, leading to the collapse of the multiverse and Kang's creation of Battle World. This would set up the stage for Secret Wars and other MCU characters to be involved and stuff like that. So very interesting plans for what could have been with Kang Dynasty. Don't like them relying so heavily on past iterations of guys that weren't in the MCU, but I understand like they're big legacy guys. I would love to see them, obviously. But what are your thoughts on what could have been?
This is still going to happen is what my thoughts are. I think it's hilarious that people can be so small-minded. They're just like, oh, like we're never going to see Toby. We're never going to see Andrew. Like we're never going to see Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. We're never going to see Chris Evans' Cap. Like, stop. They have made this machine. This machine is going towards one goal. That's to get them all on the screen together. So however it happens, I don't give a fuck. We are going to see Toby. We're going to see Hugh Jackman. We're going to see Robert Downey Jr. We're going to see Andrew Garfield. We're going to see Chris Evans. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to be the most orgasmic moment of my life. I will never be as happy as that scene that I'm going to see. Never. And I can't wait.
As much as I love those movies, I love those guys, I would not like for the crux of the film to be based on non-MCU characters. I mean, they are in the MCU technically, but that would just be kind of a weird decision. That's just, like I said in the other pod, just MCU panicking, banking on shock value, banking on fan service, as opposed to telling a narrative that really matters, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I'm probably in the minority.
You are.
Let's talk about what's streaming and what's coming out. Okay. World War Z is now streaming on Netflix. I think this is one of the best zombie movies of the modern era. What are your thoughts on World War Z?
I saw it once when it came out. I remember thinking that it was fine, but I don't remember anything other than like the zombies running weird and shit like that. Like I couldn't tell you what happens in that movie at all. Wasn't Brad Pitt the star of that?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Saw it once, thought it was fine. It didn't leave me with any lasting impression like it left you clearly. So, yeah.
Those zombies are fucking nuts in World War Z. Like, some niggas running 4.2s. Like, those niggas, like that's just a scary reality to be in. So that's probably why I enjoy it. It's fun, as you like.
I was about to say, you know what? I think that was part of the reason that turned me off of the movie. I was like, this just isn't fair. Like, it's not fair and it's not fun. So, yeah.
Those niggas, those zombies in that movie built a wall of themselves climbing on top of each other to get to a plane. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Insane.
That was like the promotional art for that too, I think. It's crazy.
And people love pointing out in that promotional art there's a cat somehow that's like this, like flying, like flailing like this somehow. And we don't know how that cat got in a situation. So anyway, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is now streaming on Hulu. Will you be watching this or not really?
Maybe eventually, yeah. Fell off of the Apes train, but maybe eventually.
Okay. Adam Sandler's new comedy special is coming August 27th on Netflix. This is a big deal. He hasn't done a comedy stand-up in a while.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm Adam Sandler. I'm not a big fan of his movies lately, but yeah.
I don't know. Adam Sandler seems like he's probably got that old white guy humor, which I'm just not a big fan of. But I might check it out. I'm a fan of stand-up comedy regardless, so I might check it out just to have some background noise.
All right. Squid Game Season 2 premieres December 26th this year, and Season 3 is confirmed to be the final season coming the following year in 2025. So more Squid Game. Yay. An animated Evil Dead series is in the works, with Bruce Campbell returning to voice the main character Ash Williams. This is what got Sam Raimi off the ground as one of the mainstream directors in Hollywood, the Evil Dead series. So I know that has a big cult fan base. I'm not really a part of it, but for those who are, Evil Dead is having an animated series with the original actor Bruce Campbell returning. A Mr. Miyagi prequel series is being discussed by the Cobra Kai creators. Now, talk about milking.
Yeah.
This right here. No, I don't watch Cobra Kai, but I have a friend who's in the show. I want to support him. But apparently the new season, which just came out, like the final season, like there's like supernatural elements in it. I'm like, this came from the Karate Kid? Like, okay, sure. So you know how studios get with these kind of properties, but a Mr. Miyagi prequel series could be kind of cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, in theory. But what are your thoughts? Like a young badass prime Miyagi.
Yeah, I'm about to say it depends on how they do it. It depends on how they do it. Yeah, if they go the Ip Man route and show him coming up to be this master, sure, and they make it good, sure. But I don't believe for a second that they're going to do that. So we'll see.
There's a new John Wick spinoff series in the works titled The High Table. Yes, a new one. It's in development. It's a sequel to John Wick 4, apparently. Keanu Reeves will not star, but he will be hands-on as producer, and it will include other characters from the John Wick film. So this is the second John Wick spinoff series. The other one was the Continental, which I enjoyed. But knowing this is like they're directly tied to John Wick 4, would this kind of intrigue you?
It depends on who's in it. It depends on what character they make in it. It can't be too many of these niggas because most of them get fucking murked in the movie. But
did Common die in part 2? Did he kill Common at the end, or did he walk away in the sunset?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember.
But John Wick don't got too many ops that don't.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's not really John Wick's thing. So yeah.
But I remember them having like a mutual respect for each other after they tried to kill each other. I can't remember how that ended though. Anyway, more D23 news, guys. We have a title for the new Avatar film. Avatar 3 is titled Avatar: Fire and Ash, in theaters December next year, 2025. You still never saw Way of Water, did you?
I've never seen any of the Avatar movies aside from the first. Well, yeah, no, I haven't seen Way of Water.
Two. Yeah.
And I saw the first one when it came out, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I think Way of Water is long as hell, but I think it's a good movie. A lot of spectacle. Fire and Ash, I like how they're kind of going like a different kind of conceptually from the Way of Water. Now it's fire, and apparently James Cameron will be exploring a new fire tribe as opposed to a water tribe, so that could be really, really cool.
This nigga building the Avatar.
Yeah, in the first one they were like the forest tribe, so earth, water, fire, air next. But you know what? That's probably what Avatar 4 would be like. They're gonna be like the sky tribe or whatever. But anyway, I'm excited for this. Yeah, sure. Now the real end of a trilogy that we have. Well, that's not the end of a trilogy, but the real part 3 we have, guys. It's official. Incredibles 3 in development. Brad Bird is returning. I know you don't care about this. I motherfucking do. Incredibles 3, bitch. My most anticipated movie so far right now.
Oh God.
I should learn a lesson from part 2, honestly, but
should have.
I didn't. I'm excited. What are
I
your
don't
thoughts?
trust him, man. I mean, look, I'm excited too. I'm gonna be there opening night. Blah blah blah. I don't trust him. I don't. I'm going in there and I'm expecting mediocrity at its finest. Hopefully I'm wrong. Like, hopefully, hey, I would love to be fucking wrong. Like, I would love to be 10 years old to get in that theater, but they're not going to give me like they did with Incredibles 2. They're not.
I trust Brad Bird. I trust that they got the response from Incredibles 2 because it's pretty wide thought process. Like Incredibles 2 is like just the same thing as part 1, not as good. I think they will internalize that. I think Brad Bird is a very talented director. He'll be like, okay, I'm doing something wildly different. I think he will take my advice, of course, not listening to me, but he will age up the characters, and this will be a whole new story, and it will be a very welcome story, and it will end The Incredibles in a very high note. I'm calling it right now. Calling it. Anyway.
Hope you're right.
More Pixar sequels. Toy Story 5 will be about the toys facing off against electronics. Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and all the other toys will return, which to me kind of is... Toy Story 4 had a great send-off with those characters, like Woody separating from the rest of the toys. So to bring them all back together, they have to really do that be careful about that. But what are your thoughts on this?
This is the one franchise where it doesn't matter what I think. I don't get to be negative about it because every time they put out something that's just so fucking good, that's true. I'm so wrong. So I'm going to sit down, shut the fuck up, be their opening night, watch them battle these iPad kids, and let's do it. Like, this is about them being replaced as playthings. Like, they're in a new age. Kids are on the computers. They're playing their iPads. They're on their cell phones. They don't play with toys anymore. Let's do it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's fair. But do you agree with what I said? Like, I mean, of course, you have high, but like, didn't Toy Story 4 leave off on a note where like Woody and the toys separating was like kind of emotional and sad and like just to bring them all back together in the next film?
I thought the same thing in part 3 when they left Andy, and I'm sure Andy's going to be in this in some manner or form, or if he is, like, it wouldn't ruin that moment for me. So no, I don't. Okay. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Alrighty. A Britney Spears biopic is in the works at Universal Pictures. All my Britney Spears fans, I'll be there. I want to see this.
Okay.
I heard Sydney Sweeney's name being thrown around there.
To do what?
So to be Britney Spears.
Oh,
that's just, it's very early in development, but we'll see. Popular TikToker and social media influencer Addison Rae is expected to return for the Thanksgiving sequel from director Eli Roth. He reveals that we kept her alive for a reason. So did you watch Thanksgiving last year, the horror movie?
I wanted to, but I didn't. I didn't get around to it when it came out in theaters. I may watch it this Halloween. We'll see. It's a horror movie, right?
Yeah.
It's a slasher, yeah.
Yeah, people seem to like that movie. I didn't like it as much as everybody else did, but people liked it. Part 2, whatever. We have details for the next Game of Thrones spinoff series. It's going to be called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. It is set 100 years before Game of Thrones, and I'm sorry, it's set 200 years before Game of Thrones and 100 years after House of the Dragon. So sure. It will encounter several members of the Targaryen dynasty. It will be releasing next year on HBO. And George R.R. Martin says that there are also 7 more Game of Thrones shows in development. 3 of them are going to be live action. 4 are going to be animated. This is in addition to House of the Dragon and Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. So a lot of Game of Thrones material coming at us. Animated medium is very, very new for them. We'll see how that goes. But what are your thoughts on the spinoff, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and the other properties that are coming down the line?
I think we also saw something about the egg and the knight or whatever the fuck that one's called. Saw a little brief teaser about that too.
Dunking the egg or something like that.
Yeah, whatever that's called. I mean, look, as like a tagline, none of these really excite me if I'm being completely honest. But that's kind of the point in Game of Thrones. Like, it doesn't need the mysticism and the dragons and the White Walkers to be excellent TV at times. So hopefully this can be one of those series that's still enthralling and still really good. We'll see, but I mean, based on the tagline, I really don't have any like excitement nor expectations for it. And the good thing is that I don't read the books, so you know, all these fucking nerds are like, oh, just wait, just wait. Like, oh, okay, great, I will wait, I will wait. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is great just to hold me over until House of the Dragon comes back in 2 years. So if we get some new Game of Thrones live action content next year, here for it. More so, what's more interesting to me more than anything in this news is the animated material. I wonder how Game of Thrones will do in that space. What do you think? You think it'll be
It
comparable?
depends. It depends. I mean, hopefully they actually go for it. I'm not sure why they're choosing to do some of this animated, and hopefully that will be revealed.
Right.
But to me, it just seems like a waste of time. Like, why are they wasting their time doing this? Unless there's just stories that they just want to tell that they just can't possibly shoot. Which, whatever, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the animated stuff will lean more into that fantasy element that George R. R. Martin has in the books, like the ice dragons and stuff like that, and the zombies and stuff. So we'll see. Robert Kirkman says that they're aiming to make 7 to 8 seasons of Invincible. He says
Wow.
He says that's what it would take to get it to end the comic run, and he says it could go even longer if they're still having fun and Prime Video still likes us. Thoughts?
Well, Prime Video is gonna like you, buddy. You made The Walking Dead, and you got one of the most successful shows on their platform, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, look, he wrote the fucking comic, so like I can't argue with him if he says it's gonna take 7 or 8 seasons. And if he says that, you know, there could be more, great. I mean, but that means that's gonna take like 20 years for this shit to come out at this rate. So I don't know. I don't want to be fucking 50 still watching Invincible. So,
I do.
No, I don't. I fucking don't.
Me.
No.
Who wants to still be watching Invincible at 50? Me. Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Let's talk some reviews. Did you finish any shows?
Yes, I finished one show. Batman: The Cape Crusader.
Okay. I'll give my thoughts on that briefly, real quick. I didn't finish it. I stopped at episode 5. And the reason is not because it's a bad show. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the show. It's just because it didn't seem to deviate that much from the 90s Batman Bruce Timm show. And even though it's set in a different time period, stuff like that, I just felt like, okay, like, why am I watching this when I can just go back and watch that kind of deal? And I felt myself kind of getting exhausted with like I said, it's not a bad show at all. I'd even recommend it, I guess, to people who really like Batman, but I love Batman as well. I just didn't. Episode 5, I was like, okay, it's like a Monster of the Week kind of deal. Like, I just don't see what I need to be watching this for when I can just go back and watch the 90s Batman. But that's just my opinion. I know that's probably very, very harsh opinion, I guess. But what are your thoughts on the series? Please tell me if it got better or whatever.
So, I kind of wrote down some things here because I didn't want to ramble. But
ramble
now, on. Now I'm about to say now, based on what you said, I kind of want to just ramble. So, where should I begin here? So, Batman the Animated Series is something that's very near and dear to both of our hearts. Like, we both love that show. We love Kevin Conroy. We love Bruce Timm. We love Mark Hamill. We love everybody involved in it. And I think that this show does its best to make sure that they know how much we care about that show, because there were a lot of things in this show that directly derived from Batman the Animated Series, even down to the new voice actor that you have for Batman. For Batman, he sounded a lot like Kevin Conroy at times. Like, where I was just like, is he doing like a voice match, or is he trying to be himself here? Even down to the way that he did his Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like, Kevin Conroy is known for having like really two distinct voices for the two. Like, he would have more like a high pitched, "Hey, how you doing, Bruce Wayne?" And then obviously the Batman is the real low and whatever. This voice actor did the same thing, which I really enjoyed. Like, I like appreciated the voice acting throughout just because of that. I think where the show got a little stale for me, where there were two main reasons. One was the villain choice. I don't mind Freak of the Week. In fact, I would argue that I love Freak of the Week. I love Arrow, Smallville, Batman the Animated Series, The Batman, Beware the Batman, like all that shit that came out. Like, this is how you make week to week cartoon. Like, you have to have a Freak of the Week, so to speak. So I don't mind it. But what I do mind is when you have somebody that's as important and iconic as Batman that has the role gallery that Batman does, you can't just throw out Firefly and some random a ghost, a vampire. Like that came to be my big problem, especially when you start with Penguin, then you go to Harley Quinn, and then you've got the you got Catwoman, and then you go to these no names. It's like, wait a minute, like stop that. I will say that I watched this all the way through. I watched all eight episodes uninterrupted. I was locked in to an extent, but that was the main thing that bothered me. The other thing is, I think because I'm like such a fan that I've just seen so much of this stuff to where it felt redundant. Like we're getting the Harvey Dent storyline again. Like we've got to see him be Harvey. We've got to see him make these, these choices where it's like, okay, like, is he good or is he bad? And then the inevitable descent into Two-Face. And it's just like, bro, like we're like, it's just like the Jason Todd storyline. Like they are beating that shit into the ground.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Like, well, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like it felt like every other year we were getting like a Red Hood storyline, whether it was animation or video games or whatever. And I feel like they are just like they want us to know that Harvey Dent is going to be Two-Face. It's just like, okay, bro, we get it. Some changes I did enjoy. I know that I may have been critical about the woman penguin thing, but low key, I was kind of on board with it, with the way that they did it. I didn't really have any complaints about it. The Harley Quinn thing was interesting. I'm not sure why they made her like standalone. Like I think
and thick.
Oh, in Asian, I think I think that they think Harley is bigger than she is, but maybe I just don't get her star. I don't know. And would it be a Batman series without the inevitable post credits Joker scene? Like would it be? Would it be?
That's what I called that too, by the way. Like they're gonna have the Joker in the post.
Yeah, well, good call. Barbara and Jim, they're black. Okay, great. So we are gonna have a nigga Batgirl, and there's they did 3 separate Robins in this, I believe, like 3 would be Robins.
Oh, I missed that one.
So that's probably the episode that you skipped, or whatever. You didn't miss anything, trust me. What else do I want to say? Oh yeah. So look, all in all though, to like, I know I just talk very negatively. I still get this season to be. I still think that this is like really good animated content. The animation style, the voice acting, Bruce Timm being heavily involved. It was enough to keep me enthralled for the 8 episodes, even though I did have some problems. I think like the average kid or like the average viewer who watches this would like it more than me, especially if they haven't been exposed to Batman as much as I have. But my hope for season 2 is that they keep the same format. Like I have no problem with the Freak of the Week and them doing like a concurrent storyline that they want to run throughout, like the Harvey Dent thing was it season 1. So season 2, make it something else. But I need better villains. And please be like, I get that you can't just throw out Joker, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, and like you can't just do that. I get it. But like some of these niggas are so irrelevant. I watched this a week ago and I don't remember their names. So yeah, that's my point. Anyway, I still think it is worth a watch. I give it a B.
Interestingly enough, Bruce Timm was actually originally approached to just bring back the Batman animated series, like just bring back that continuity. Mm-hmm. But he said that he wasn't interested. He wanted to do something a little bit different. But I would have loved that, to be honest. But I guess Kevin Conroy's not there. You still do it. But
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. There was one thing in the show that was really bothering me. Like in the show, like this is nothing that nobody was doing. This was just a creative choice about Alfred and Bruce
being fat.
Well, that was weird, but
I'm kidding.
No, it was weird. I was like, why is he thick? Like, what's going on here? But their relationship in this show was so weird, and it was something that I had never really seen.
He's kind of mean towards Alfred, right?
Yeah, like mean, standoffish, like mostly a dick. Like Alfred was just the help. Yeah. But by the end of the season, they got there, and it was like a really good payoff moment for me. I was like, wow, like thank you, Jesus, like this is what I want, type shit. So yeah, sorry.
Guys, also, we have a House of the Dragon Season 2 review. There's a full pod dedicated to that review if you want to go back and listen to it. It's our pod that we just did prior to this one. So, yeah, thoughts on House of the Dragon Season 2. Let's talk some movies. How many movies did you watch?
Just one.
Okay, I watched the same one as you, Trap. So I'll intersperse mine with yours. The first one I want to do is Borderlands, real quick.
Oh, God. Why did you go see this shit? Sorry. Why? Tell me some masterpiece. No. Tell me some masterpiece. I know it was.
You warned me. Look, this comes from director Eli Roth, who did Thanksgiving last year, the horror movie.
Okay.
People were telling me, you yourself included, like, this movie, like, Monty, what do you see in this movie? Like, the trailer looks ass. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, look at this cast: Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, Ariana Greenblatt, Kevin Hart, fucking Jack Black. It looks like a tone of like Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with Fallout, mixed with Mad Max. Like, it looked like all the combined. I was like, this looks fun. Like, it looks fun. If anything, you love to say fun. It looked fun. No, this wasn't fun. This wasn't fun, guys. Okay. This wasn't fun. I've heard of the video game it's based on my whole life, basically, or for a long time. I guess not. It wasn't out my whole life, but so I don't have any exposure to that. It's my first exposure to the world of Borderlands. But this movie felt like a Disney Channel original movie. Like, let's watch a Disney Channel movie.
Okay.
And there's a time and place for that kind of movie in a man's life. Not when he's 30 years old, unfortunately, and not when he's expecting something different. The movie is trying so hard the entire runtime to just sell you on this wacky world. Everybody's wacky in this world. Everybody's crazy, but it didn't earn it at all. It just felt cringeworthy. And I really feel bad for the video game to live action movie pipeline movement because it was trending in a really good direction with the Sonic movies, Super Mario Brothers, last year's Five Nights at Freddy's, the fucking Last of Us show, Fallout show. And then this single-handedly might bring that movement back 20 steps, 25 steps. It was really, really bad. I think this is the worst movie of the entire year, guys. Like, this is worse than Night Swim. This movie is an F, guys. This movie is worse than Night Swim. Oh my God, it was so bad. Wow. You warned me, and sorry, sir. All right.
All right.
Okay. God, it was bad. Kate Blanchett. I'm sorry. What the fuck am I thinking Kate Blanchett for? Let's talk about Trap. Give me your thoughts on M. Night Shyamalan's newest movie.
Yeah. So look, we talked about our expectations being on the floor earlier, and when it comes to M. Night Shyamalan, like my expectations, excuse me, they are beneath the fucking floor. Like, I am just like, bro, like he doesn't have it anymore. Like, he cannot do it. So maybe that's why this movie maybe that's why it was easy to please me in this, I'll say, because I actually really enjoyed this, man. I thought the lead actor in this film played the role like Josh really Hartnett. Well. Mm-hmm. Like just that like super bubbly when you need to be / super serious when you need to be / just dad. Like I thought that he was great in this, and I thought the story that they were trying to tell, for the most part, I thought they told it in a way that I was like, okay, like I buy into this. I'm in the world. I understand the world. I'm accepting what's happening. I'm letting it wash over me. I'm fine with this. My main complaint was that the third act was just too long. Once they got out of the concert, there was still another like hour of the movie, and I was just like, don't love that. I felt like it could have been shaved down just a teeny bit. But the actual concert part of the movie, which is what was heavily promoted, I enjoyed. Like I enjoyed him playing cat and mouse. Like I enjoyed him trying not to get caught. In all the things he was doing, all the interactions he was having. Excuse me. The black guy in the movie, he was not funny. I was so sad. I was waiting for him to have his moment. Like, they
even gave him a post-credit scene.
Yeah, which also was not funny. I was waiting for him to have his moment. Like, why can I not think of? Oh, and like Lil Rel did and Get Out. Like, I was like, okay, like this is it for you, bro. Like, you can do this. And yeah, that didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm not one of those guys that that goes into a Shyamalan movie thinking that he has to have this big twist or the movie sucks. So for me, I was able to go into this movie, accept what I saw. I was able to enjoy it, man. I had fun with this. I gave this movie a B. I recommend this. I liked it a lot.
All right, cool. So yeah, Trap is the second Shyamalan film of the year. The first one coming from his daughter Ishana and the Watchers, which Julian convinced that M. Night did it himself as well.
He did.
He did. M. Night is back, as Julian would say.
Is he?
I gotta say, man, say what you want about M. Night. He's the king of premises, though. I mean, he execution wise, obviously very flaky, but he always brings a great original concept to a film. I thought this is a great original concept. I do think it's kind of weird though that he, as a South Asian man himself, always has these white leads in the movie. So I was happy to see a South Asian in the main cast, played by his daughter actually, who played the character Lady Raven. That's actually his other daughter, who's a cutie by the way. But yeah, that's actually his real daughter in real life. And I thought that was really cool that he finally had a South Asian in the lead. I thought like nigga, why as a South Asian do you not want to see your people? He said in the past that like movies
people won't support.
Won't support it. Which at this point you're in my Shyamalan. People know who you are. You're a big name in the industry. People will go see your movie if you have a South Asian lead. Anyway, I liked how the twist in this movie came early on in the film, which the twist being that Josh Hartnett, the dad, is the killer, which apparently was revealed in the second trailer, which I'm so glad I did not see. I'm like, damn, like why the hell would you reveal that? Like I didn't know that. So
okay,
to me it was a twist. God damn it. Which I thought was really very predictable twist, but I enjoyed that it came early on as opposed to like a change of pace as opposed to coming like the last act of the film like he typically does. As a frequent concert goer myself, I thought he did a really great job at just depicting a real concert venue environment, like just the culture of concerts, how things go, just the atmosphere. I love how he utilized every inch of the concert venue to kind of so the story doesn't stay still while it's in the concert. And then there's a portion of the movie, like you said, that third act and beyond, which goes beyond the concert venue. And that's when the movie went to hell very quickly for me. I'm sorry, in my opinion. Like you said, I enjoyed the concert portion of the movie. That's what the movie sold us on. That's the cat and mouse chase that we were kind of promised, and that was fun. Yep. Once they got in that limousine and got out of that damn concert, that movie went to hell so motherfucking fast for me. I'm sorry, I did not enjoy anything that took place outside of the concert. Shyamalan's known for the infamous stiff and awkward dialogue. Like you said, I think Josh Hartnett did give a really good performance, but sometimes I'm like, is this a bad performance or a good one? But I think I just attribute that to Shyamalan's writing, which is always just so awkward at times. And I think he has the Tyler Perry problem. I think that he's trying to do everything in-house all the time himself, the writing, the producing, the directing, the starring. And I just think, like I said, with him being the king of premises, if he were just to bring in some outside help in the writing department or, like that would really just help elevate these movies to that next level that they could easily be at. All of his films, he just wants to do everything himself, which I get it from an artistic standpoint, but at the same time, I don't get it from an artistic standpoint. And M. Night, last thing I just want to say to you directly, sir, I know you're listening, watching, don't write any more black men in your films ever again. Like the character that worked the concert venue was cringe. Kid Cudi's character was cringe. Mid-sized sedan in the movie Old was cringe. You just write us to be weird people. Like, just stop writing us because you obviously never met a real black person in your life before. So I gave it a D. I thought it was bad. Like I said, I was ready to give this movie a B like you while I was in the concert venue. And then once I got to that house and shit escalated, it got bad quick for me.
Okay. Well, sucks for you. My theater laughed out loud at the part where he showed how the dude got kidnapped, like in that kidnapping van. Thought that was absolutely hilarious. It's just like, this nigga dumb as hell. It was funny. But yeah, let's move on.
Last review, guys, is for It Ends With Us. This is the movie that I made fun of when the trailer came out, and I'm sorry. Starring Blake Lively, who gave an amazing performance tonight. I just saw it tonight. I really didn't have the biggest intentions on watching this movie, but my mom, who read the book, which this movie is based on.
Yeah, I'll be reading the book too.
Okay, really interesting. So she dragged me to the theater to go watch this movie because she was really wanted to see this adaptation. And as somebody that read the book, she loved it. And as somebody like myself who has not, my first exposure was this movie tonight, I loved it as well. This is an excellent movie. I was so surprised. That's awesome. I hate to bring up Tyler Perry again, but essentially this movie has a very similar, stay with me guys, if not the same exact structure as any Tyler Perry film. And there's a woman, but of course white people, woman has an old high school sweetheart, their young love, things happen, they separate, Years go by. There's a new suave man, handsome, charismatic, but he has a dark secret, dark past. Old love from high school comes back into the picture. The story kind of trampolines from there. But unlike Tyler Perry, which Tyler Perry needs to take some notes, this film masters nuance. It masters character development. And just a direct one-to-one comparison to like Divorce in the Black, his latest movie. Like in that movie, Dallas, played by Corey Harding, is just such a bad guy off the rip. When we first see him in the first scene that we see him in, that's where his character development starts, and that's where it ends. In this movie, there's another bad guy in this movie, character Lyle, but his layers are peeled back slowly as the movie progresses, and we get to see why he is the way that he is, and it just makes you that much more invested and understand why he is the way that he is. And so, Tyler Perry, like, take some fucking notes. This is the same exact movie that you would do in terms structure wise, but it's just so much better in terms of execution. There's a lot of good scenes in this movie between characters. Like I found myself smiling at the screen. Just a true romance film, which I think we need more of. Theatrically released, big budget romance film, not rom-com. We still need more of those as well, but like just a true romance film. It's really, really good. So refreshing to see. This movie's over 2 hours. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes. And typically I'd be like, it's kind of long on the long side for a movie like this. But this movie is a perfect example of how you can utilize every minute of your runtime to build out your character. Like Blake Lively's character goes through stages in her life. She meets different people, and we understand her life development and all that kind of stuff. And then they use the runtime to their advantage. So I think it needed to be 2 hours long. Literally, it had to be 2 hours long. And lastly, I just want to say that trigger warning for women out there. This does touch on a big point of the movie is domestic violence, the domestic abuse. And there were a lot of women tonight in my theater that were crying, sniffling, clapping. And I think it's a very important film. I think it's very impactful. Obviously, it impacted women who have kind of gone through that, obviously, maybe in the crowd, maybe women who just like the adaptation like my mom did, or people like me who just seen it for the first time and just really just thought it was just a good story that you got attached to the character. So A- from me. I had no idea I'd be thinking this movie would be a top 10 movie of the year for me, but it is.
Wow.
And it's just a great film, man. And I'm excited for part 2 now, called It Starts With Us, I believe. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Avi's been wanting to see it. Well, actually, she hasn't, because like I said, she read the book. And apparently when she saw the trailer, I think she was like, they gave it all away in the trailer. So I don't know if I want to see the movie, but now that I know that your mom loved it still after reading it, we'll probably go check it out. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it as much as you did. I really am.
Yeah, it was great.
Gives me hope.
Yep. Last bit is a little tidbit, guys, for you guys. And we're going to end on a tidbit. James Cameron, director of Avatar, Titanic, Terminator, offered Matt Damon the lead role in Avatar in 10% of the film's box office, but he turned it down. The film ended up grossing $2.8 billion. And Matt Damon always says, I will go down in history as, the actor who kind of lost the most money, So just doing like the math on that, he would have made it at least 300 mil minimum, which is insane. But that's just kind of interesting to me. If Matt Damon, instead of Sam Worthington, was the star of Avatar. So.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt Damon, dumbass nigga. All right, Mondy, make sure you like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the Current Air Pod,
all that shit,
and all that shit, niggers. All right, thank you.
All righty.